But when it comes to home improvements, Bob Vila is still king, and correspondent Josh McBride caught up with the star for some tips on keeping unwanted guests out of your home this season.
Yeah, hey guys, didn't know if you know this, but April is actually National Pest Management Month. And here to chat all about that and give us some tips is renowned home improvement expert, Bob Vila. Thanks so much for coming on the Daily Buzz.
My pleasure.
All right, let's talk about this time of year. April, a lot of things getting into the house. Let's start with how do we keep them outside of the house?
We try to tell people spring cleaning means taking a good look at the outside of the house to make sure that you don't have any cracks between the foundation and the sidewall, and that the siding is tight, and that there aren't any holes where you had a cable come through or where you have a hose bib, and that everything is tight so that bugs can't get in. And then how do you find out if you have them? And very often it means being aware of unusual stuff in the house. If you're running a vacuum cleaner and all of a sudden there's a pile of granular stuff that you can't quite figure out what it is, and you look at it and it's dry and it's these little tiny round things, that's what's called frass. Frass is termite poop. And they're living in there, and they're, eating the cellulose, and they're creating these runnels, and when they're pooping their brains out and they got to get rid of that stuff that's in their way, they just poke a hole and sweep it out. And somebody will say, oh, I don't know what it is, vacuuming it up and getting rid of it. You're missing the clue.
Something you learn every day. I never knew what that was. Should we be treating our home all year long regardless, just for pests in general?
No. It depends largely on where you live, because I live in Florida, and the answer there is yes, especially if you have a garden. But we have a lot of problems primarily with termites, and so it's good to have kind of a contract maintenance set up with a pest management professional. Depending on where you live, it's a different kind of situation. And up here in the Northeast, I don't think you need to do that as much as just be aware.
Bob, where can viewers go to find out more?
Pestworld.org